Are you moving to the Augusta area and you've been looking and seeing these houses get snapped up like this, and you're thinking, you know what, land is cheap down there and I want to build? Well, we're talking building your own home in Augusta, Georgia, and we're starting right now. Hi, I'm Kimberly Lahodny with Georgia Coast Homes and Keller Williams in Augusta, Georgia. And today we're talking, should I build my dream home in Augusta or Columbia County? And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, you should do it. You should do it. And the reason why is that right now, and I'm shooting this February 2021, our market is crazy hot. It is very much a seller's market. There are bidding wars on homes all the time, but there is beautiful land to be had and acreage to be bought still at great prices. I mean, I saw a 5-acre plot of land in Evans for about $300,000. I've seen a 1 to 2 acre for $100,000. I mean, you get the right builder in and you build a house for $100,000 to $200,000, and you're in for about $300,000 if you bought a plot of land, maybe a half acre or an acre, for under $100,000. I mean, it's incredible. And the reason why I want to talk about this is that I get calls all the time from frustrated buyers who are looking and seeing inventory go so fast, and they're like, I'm not ready yet, but I know where I want to live and I'm not really seeing what I want. Or if I see it, it's gone in a day, and it is. I mean, that's happening here. So we're gonna start doing a series on some of the custom builders here. And we're also gonna do a great video on new construction in the Columbia County and Richmond County area, because there's some great national builders building. But if you're thinking about buying land and building it out, I strongly suggest doing it. And again, we're talking in the midst of a pandemic, so there have been some price hindrances in doing your own build. Lumber prices happen to be pretty high right now because COVID has affected distribution of lumber and things like that, but I still think this is something you should consider. So here are the 5 reasons I think you should consider building your own home. Number 1, you'll finally get to build what you want. I talk to so many people who are retiring and they're thinking, I want to retire to Georgia. One of the reasons why people like to retire to Georgia is that we have a retirement tax break on your Social Security. So you have a bit of protection over money that comes in regularly to you that just doesn't happen in other states. I mean, I came from California and it is a nightmare to retire in California. You just can't do it. So if you are planning on retiring here, you deserve to move somewhere that you love. A lot of people are looking to recreate their dream home or a home that they lived in, 30 plus years ago, and you can do that here. Some of the caveats are that you may want to look at places that are pre-plumbed for city water so that you're not on a septic tank, or maybe you don't mind, maybe you want to be out in the country. But this is something you should investigate because building your own home is just very satisfying. Number 2, finding an incredible architectural builder. We are really blessed here in the Augusta area of having a handful of builders that are building beautiful properties. They're building Georgian style mansions, or even smaller versions of those homes. They're building traditional painted ladies. We see Victorian homes built here all the time, the classic colonial. We have something that I absolutely love, and you'll see it in different areas in the South and kind of the Mid-Atlantic region, which is called Low Country. I love this style of house. I know a builder here that really specializes in it. And I think that the charm of some of these homes is just incredible. Obviously, the modern farmhouse is really big here as well. And you have a selection of people here that are doing a killer job building these homes. I mean, they are very strong and sturdy. They're very attractive to look at. And it's very satisfying to work with a builder and have something built exactly the way that you want. Number 3, you can control your budget. This is one of the reasons why people love to build their own home. Now, there is that saying that once you get started with a home build, your budget may expand on you, and you might be going, oh my gosh, I never meant to spend that much. But you really can control your budget. You can decide how big of a lot that you get. You can decide how much you pay for that lot. You can see if you can split a lot. There are people here who are trying to make money off of large properties they have, and they're interested in selling off a smaller portion. And then you can control the size of your home, and you can control how much material you use. Or if you go with a brand new architectural build, or if you find a plan for a house on the internet, there's some great websites that you can pre-purchase plans and then go to one of our incredible builders and have them build. Or you can come down and build the house yourself. I mean, there are quite a few people that I talk to who have their contractor's license or have been building houses for years, and this may be the ideal place for you to build your house. Number 4, creating a lasting memory for your family. There are so many people who want to live the American dream and just never thought it was possible in the state that they are living in. Now, I grew up in the DC area, in a part of Maryland specifically, that was very, very expensive. And when I became a young adult and I started looking around, I wanted to live near my parents, or I wanted to live at some level close to my parents. And I could not find something that I could readily afford as a younger adult. Georgia really allows you to buy land and cultivate that land at a younger stage of life. I mean, with prices being so low here, and I know people are in different places and they're watching this, and maybe $100,000 to $300,000 is still a lot of money. But when you're coming from a state where houses are $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, or God forbid, a couple million, these kind of prices are just shocking. They're just shocking. And you may want to buy a property and move everybody down. And that is why it's very, very tempting to buy your own land, because you can buy as much as you want and decide, hey, I'm going to build a mother-in-law house or a guest house, or I'm going to sell that portion of my property to my brother and he can build his own house. And all of a sudden you have your whole family around you again in a way that is very true to how at least I was raised. I had my grandmother living with me when I was really tiny. I was around all of my relatives. We were third generation Washingtonians, so back when we were growing up in the DC area, I had all my family around, and it's because they bought houses when they were cheap. Now buying a house in DC or in the Maryland area very close to the city, or even in McLean or Falls Church, that area right around the district, is just astronomical. I mean, I can't live that close to my family and live the quality of life that I now enjoy. So having the ability to buy as much land as you want and move everybody down and accommodate all of them, it's just incredible. Number 5, buying and building a master's rental. So if you've been sticking around and you've seen my first video on buying a master's rental, or you've seen any of my consecutive videos that talk about doing all of this craziness, buying land and building a house that accommodates renting it out for the masters is incredibly smart if you are an investor. You are going to be building something that is going to be paying you back year after year after year. And there are specifications to how to build a master's rental, and I talk about that in another video. But if you are thinking about doing that, there's no other way. I mean, you can buy houses that have been built for masters, but you're going to find that their prices get higher and higher, especially if you want to make crazy amounts of money. You might as well just build it yourself. So those are my recommendations for coming down and building your own property. I will be doing a series on the different custom home builders, and I'll be doing a series on the new construction here too, because maybe you don't want to deal with all the madness of doing it yourself and hiring a contractor or dealing with an architect, and you just want to find a great house here. There's a lot of that going on too. So if you've been totally tantalized by this, subscribe to our channel and watch this next video on Evans being named the best city in the nation to move to. Thanks for stopping by my channel, and I'll talk to you real soon.